Over these few weeks, we're taking a look at Teacher SEL. Why? Well, it's a vital part of what we need today as teachers, and it's certainly a huge piece of SEL, social, emotional, artistic learning. So plug yourself in and let's get rocking. Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Peterson here from the Inspired Classrooms podcast. We're going to start talking about some healthy boundaries that every teacher should set. In fact, we're going to look at 3 areas that are really important to consider when setting boundaries that will help you to separate yourself from school, because that is a really important thing for us to remember. Yes, we want to be the best teacher we can possibly be. Yes, we're invested in our job. Yes, we love our students. We love our job. And we also need to make sure that we're setting healthy boundaries so that when we're at school, we can be at school. And when we're at home, we can be the best personal self that we need to be. Now, a few episodes back, I talked about priorities and setting priorities. I'll put a link to in the show notes for that one, because that is one of the key things to keep in mind as we talk about boundaries. Now, I mentioned that we're going to talk about 3 boundaries that every teacher should set. Today, I'm going to talk specifically about email. Next time, we're going to look at the school bag, the ever heavy school bag. And then we're also going to look at lunchtime. All right, so email. Let's talk about it. Emails come in at all times of the day and night. And it is okay for you to stop checking school email when your contracted day is over. In fact, I would like to think that most parents and administrators accept that. And some probably even expect that. If an email comes in after hours, it is totally fine to wait and check it when you are back in school mode the next morning, the next school day. In fact, there have been times where I've had stories told to me. I have personal stories myself of when I've checked email or a colleague has checked their email after hours or over the weekend, and it has changed their personal time. It's something that really just affects them for the rest of their evening or the rest of their weekend. And oftentimes it's something that you cannot handle or cannot even deal with until you get back to school the next day. And that's really something I want you to think about, because checking your email, if you find one of those emails that just kind of irks you or sets you off or makes you think about an issue that you're going to need to deal with in the morning, that could really affect how you are for yourself and your family while you're in your own home space. So that's why it's important to set those boundaries over email. So here are some of my suggestions for you. One is to pick times during the day that you can check email and save the rest of your school day for school while you're at school and for home while you're at home. Now, if you do want to have access to school email at home, that's fine too. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But I do want you to think about what are some times that you could check your email even if you're at home. Like if you have something that is an issue that you know that you're going to need to deal with, or you know that a parent is going to be looking for an answer and you want to get their response, find a time during the evening that might work for you, but then set your boundary after that as well. If you want to have access to your school email at home, let's say for a vacation or a spring break or even over the summer, I'm going to give you my best hack on this. And that is to consider loading your school email on a separate device that you don't use every day. I have an old phone that I keep here at my desk that I can turn on, charge up, and access my school email when I want it. It's not on the phone that I have on my person all the time. It's not on my computer that I work on nearly every day. Instead, I have it set up on an old phone so that during holidays or summer break, I don't get notified immediately, but instead I can decide to check in on what's happening at school. Now, there is something that I want to mention because sometimes it's important to be on top of your emails, right? But not always. Now, every once in a while, you probably want to be available, but that doesn't have to be the norm, not outside of your school hours. So don't apologize for seeing that email that came in at 9:30 at night. If someone really needs to get in touch with you, like it's an emergency, they're going to do it in a different way. Also, keep in mind, a lot of parents, myself included, as a parent, sometimes I'm thinking about something and I need to get in touch with a school counselor for my own kids or a teacher, and the only real time that I might have might be late at night or over the weekend. And while the thing is fresh in my head, I might compose an email and send it out at an awkward time, not during school hours. But me as a parent, and of course I feel like I have my teacher boundaries straight, right? And I have sympathy and empathy for other teachers as well. I don't expect a response. And I think that that's something that we can train our own school parents to understand that about ourselves as well. Now, there is one other thing I think is important to acknowledge, and that is that we're talking about Teacher SEL, right? In this little collection of episodes. And part of social emotional learning, regardless of who it's for, including us teachers, is being self-aware. And you need to be self-aware and understand what kind of person you are in terms of school email. If you can let it go for the time that you're not in school, that's great. But there probably are some of you listening to this that actually want to check your email at home. And here's what I mean. Maybe you want to check your email before you go on your commute to school because you want to have a handle on what the day is. Maybe your brain will be able to more easily process the things that you need to do that came through on your email during your commute so that you're ready when you get into the school. Maybe you want to check your email to get rid of the junk and just focus in on the things that need to happen as soon as you get at your classroom. Or maybe you just want to, check your email because you don't have a lot of time in the morning to start your computer, to check the email, to go through all those things. And so in those cases, maybe checking your email at home will actually put you at ease for the next day. And that's a good thing. So again, a lot of SEL in general for all people is that self-awareness piece where you need to know, is this a good thing for me? Can I set a boundary like this? And is it going to make me anxious if I don't even check my email until I set foot in my classroom? Or do you need to have that moment where you can sort through your email and be able to start your day with a clean, fresh start? So I want to encourage you. I'm actually curious. What are your thoughts on school email and setting boundaries around it? Please find me on Instagram or Facebook. DM me. I love getting DM messages from you guys about the things that we talk about here on the podcast. And, I just love talking with other teachers about all of this stuff. So I would love to hear from you about setting boundaries with email. All right, so next week we're going to dig into the school bag. So until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe as we continue talking about arts, learning, and in this collection of episodes, Teacher SEL. Teacher SEL is an important part of SEAL, social, emotional, artistic learning, where we believe in investing in the teacher so that they can make the greatest impact on their students. If you want to learn more, go to teachsel.com. My name's Elizabeth Peterson, reminding you to get inspired so that you can be inspiring to your students.